Some families inherit businesses, some wealth. For the Redding family, they inherit one of the greatest names in music history, a name that helped define soul music that inspired generations, a name that carried both enormous opportunity and unimaginable pressure. After the tragic loss of soul icon Otis Redding, many believed the story ended. But years later, a new chapter began, not through imitation, not through nostalgia, but through funk, innovation, and determination. They was the sons of a legend who refused to live in anyone's shadow. The centerpiece of today's video is all about the Reddings. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Before the Reddings could exist, there was Otis Redding, one of the most influential soul singers of all time. His voice captured raw emotion. His stage presence electrified audiences. His songs became timeless classics, but tragedy struck in December of 1967 when Otis passed away in a plane crash at just the age of 26. The music world was devastated. His family was left with grief, and his children was left with a legacy unlike any other. For Otis Redding's sons, life was unique. Everywhere they went, people knew their father's name. His records continued selling. His influence continued to grow. But being admired from the public eye came with expectations. Could they follow in his footsteps? Should they even try? Those questions will shape their journey for years. By the late 70s, Otis Redding's sons decided to pursue music professionally. Instead of recreating their father's sound, they chose to go in their own direction. The group included brothers Otis and Dexter Redding and cousin Mark Lockett. Together they formed the Reddings. Their goal was clear: to honor the family name, but create their own identity. The music landscape had changed dramatically. The soul era of the 60s had evolved. Funk now dominated the dance floors. Artists was embracing slap bass, synthesizers, powerful grooves, and modern production. The Reddings understood that moment. Rather than looking backwards, they looked forward. An audience they immediately noticed. What made the Reddings so special is that they refused to become an Otis Redding tribute act. Instead, they developed a sound rooted in funk, R&B, soul, and contemporary dance music. Their records feature energetic bass lines, strong musicianship, and a modern edge. The group wanted listeners to hear them as artists, not simply as descendants of a legend. As the early 80s arrived, the Reddings they began to find commercial success with songs like Remote Control that peaked number 89 on the pop charts and number 6 on the R&B charts. Call the Law that peaked number 16 on the R&B charts. Hand Dance, The Awakening, and If You Feel It. These songs helped establish the group as a serious force within contemporary funk. Radio stations embraced their sound. Dance clubs, they played their music. And fans, they loved them. For the first time, the Reddings was building their own legacy. The group released a total of 6 albums, scoring other minor hits throughout the 80s. One of the defining characteristics of the group was their musicianship. Unlike many acts that was built around image alone, the Reddings, they was musicians first. Their arrangements emphasized tight rhythm sections, funk bass lines, strong instrumental performances, and sophisticated grooves. This musicianship earned respect throughout the industry. Success brought opportunities and challenges. The Reddings toured, performing before audiences across the United States and beyond. Night after night, they worked to prove themselves, not only as Otis Redding's sons, but as the Reddings. This mattered to them deeply. Perhaps the most impressive achievement of the Reddings was their independence. Many second-generation artists spent their entire careers being compared to their famous parents. The Reddings faced those comparisons, yet they continued to create their own music, their own style, and their own story. That determination became a major part of their legacy. Years after their commercial peak, the Reddings they found a new audience. Collectors rediscovered their albums. DJs embraced their grooves. Funk fans celebrated their musicianship. And the young generation began to explore their catalog. And many listeners were surprised about what they found. A band far stronger and more evocative than history often acknowledged. In 1988, the group officially disbanded. Sadly, on April 18, 2023, Otis Redding III passed away of cancer at the age of 59. Beyond their own music, the Reddings helped preserve a broader legacy of the Redding family. Through performances, public appearance, and continued involvement in the music culture, they ensured that future generations will understand both where their story began and how it continued. The story of the Reddings is more about music. It's about identity, expectation, family, and perseverance. They could have spent their entire lives trying to recreate the past. Instead, they chose to build something entirely new. That choice required courage and creativity. History remembers Otis Redding as one of the greatest soul singers to ever record, and rightfully so. But the story didn't end with him. It continued through a new generation. A generation that was determined to create their own path. A generation that carried a famous name. But they also carried ambition, talent, and vision. Their music remains a reminder that true legacy is not about copying the past. It's about honoring it. It's about honoring it by creating something new. And in doing exactly that, the Reddings earned their place in funk history, not simply as the sons of a legend, but as artists who became legends in their own right. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by the Reddings? Before I go, I want to take a second to promote my Discord. Over here, I provide a safe space for my supporters. We discuss music of all genres. You can provide me feedback on recent uploads, etc. If that interests you, then go ahead and check me out. The link is in my bio. While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.